And you're gonna say hi. Hi. Hi, I'm Julka and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode I'm gonna talk about 8 things that surprised me after moving to Sweden. Before moving to Sweden, I obviously googled about cultural shocks and what's so different about Sweden because I wanted to know everything. And of course I learned about pretty basic stuff like Systembolaget or queuing for the houses or laundry rooms or anything like that. But I still had some things that surprised me as a Polish person. Also, welcome to my first video in English because I've been asked by my friends, etc. to record in English. And I don't know which language I'm gonna record in. So probably I'm gonna do a little bit of English, a little bit of Polish, maybe I'm gonna switch around or whatever I feel like. But welcome to a video in English. So the first thing on my list is that there's usually a button to open a door. And it's a very silly thing, but I feel like most of the things on my list are pretty silly. But in Poland we don't have this thing really. So if there's a door, there's in 80 to 90% of the cases there's a button to open the door. And I think it's pretty nice, to be honest, because then you don't need to struggle a lot to open the door. So it's pretty cool. Second thing on my list is that when you want to open a door with a key, you hold the key upside down. In Poland, if I would have a key, and let's say that's a key, and here are the teeth or whatever you call it of the key, I would put the key like this. If that's the door, I would put it like this. And in Sweden, in all of the places that I've lived, the key is always like this. So you put it upside down to what it is in Poland. Third thing on my list is that if you go to a swimming pool, a regular swimming pool, you don't need a swimming cap. And in Poland, whatever swimming pool you go to, unless it's like some kind of spa swimming pool with slides and other shit like this, you always need a swimming cap. Since we're talking about swimming, another thing that surprised me, so thing number 4, is that there's no shower trays in Sweden. I've lived in a few places already in Stockholm, and in none of the showers I had, there was a shower tray. And in Poland, you always have this. Like, whenever I would go to visit my friends or stay in any hotel or in B&Bs or any place like this, there's always gonna be a shower tray. You would either have it as a separate thing, or you would have a door, some kind of door to block the water to go to the rest of your bathroom. Yeah. And Swedes, apparently, they don't mind that there's water on the floor in their bathroom. And then we have 5, which is the public transportation in Sweden, specifically in Stockholm. I don't know how does it look like in other cities, but I assume it's pretty similar. And it's so freaking expensive. Oh my god. A monthly ticket for an adult right now costs 1,040 krona. And it's just crazy compared to the prices in Poland. Like, I could buy a ticket for 3 months. That would be still cheaper than buying a month transportation, a public transportation in here. So that was a bit of a hurtful shock. But yeah, that's how it is. And then even though it's very expensive, it's not the best public transportation ever. Because if there's snow, for example, or anything else, the pendle talks, the metro are like, we not gonna work. We are too tired. Because apparently, I don't know how much of this is true, but I've heard that all of the public transportation was imported from Italy and it's just not built for weather in Sweden. And number 6, you get your salary after 25th or on the 25th day of the month, which is very different because in Poland you would get it before the 10th. So it's like in Poland at the beginning of the month, in Sweden at the end of the month. We have number 7, which is a lot of cash-free shops and restaurants. And I've heard previously that a lot of Swedes and people in Sweden just use cards everywhere and Swish, but I was not expecting there to be places when you just can't use cash, and it's a pretty common thing. Like usually in restaurants they don't really allow you to pay with cash. They just don't have cash register, and in the bar that I work at there's no cash. There's no cash. We just don't have cash. So if anybody's like, yeah, but I don't have any other way to pay, we're like, too bad, nothing we can do about it. So yeah. And number 8 is that kids and teenagers here don't use backpacks for some reason. Like I see very often teenage girls and boys as well just walking like this to school, just having their laptop and being like maybe a little bag, not even food in there, I think, just like some lipstick or whatever, and they just go like that, and they don't have any books or anything. And when I was in high school I had to carry like 7 books every day and 20 notebooks and I don't know, everything that I needed to survive that day at school. I don't know, that was a big shock for me, because it feels like they just have their laptops and that's all they need, which is actually pretty cool, because I remember that my back really hurts when I was carrying 50 books a day, so I guess that's good for them, but it was a surprising thing. So those were the 8 things that surprised me after moving to Sweden. There's probably a bunch of other things that surprised me as well, so if you would want to hear more about those weird silly stuff, let me know and I can probably think of something else. And if you have any other questions, let me know and I would love to talk. And yeah. Previously that I'm recording a video. Anyways.